Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Oh, what a day. This is going to be interesting today. Yeah, this is what I sound like whenever I wake up early in the morning. Oh, man. So, I don't know if you heard about this. I'm sure everybody's ahead of this more than I am because I don't pay enough attention to the news. Hey, good morning, Rabbit. Good to see you. Farrell, wonderful. Yeah, you got an invite, Farrell, if you want to come by. It's up to you. It don't matter. I'm chilling. So, yeah, Miami. Miami has loose aliens, or they're on the loose. That's what it says. I shit you not. They're sitting there going, "Hey, yeah, hey, Megan, just stopping by to say hi before bed." Well, you rest up there, doll. You rest up. It's good to see you. You're welcome to hang out here, come back, rewatch it. You know, grab some coffee. Well, if for you, it's like bedtime, so you'll just put on this sexy voice and crawl into bed and listen to me. I love it. Somebody has to do that. I know that Farrell's waking up this morning also. Well, she's getting ready for bed also. Not really waking up. She's been up all morning. Been up since 3 a.m. on a Seahawks stream. That's awesome, Megan. That's been awesome. Hope you have been keeping yourself busy and occupied. That's what we like. People that stay busy and occupied. Now, that's why I started doing these. This is the first morning I'm doing this. So if I seem a little bit unprepared, it's probably because of that. That's how it happens. Oh yeah. So here we go. Yeah, it's a little bit interesting news. So conspiracy theorists convinced shadow aliens are loose in Miami. People are idiots. If they're busy now, but turn to hopefully for the Kraken. That's awesome. So it's and here's the idiot part of this. The people actually either fell for this or convinced themselves that it was true. Oh, you got nothing. Got nothing. Cops turned up because of teens brawling and shooting fireworks at Bayside Market on New Year's Day. Now, the reason this got so much attention is because there were so many damn cops that showed up. It's like there's got to be something wrong with this. Oh, Farrell, you're not feeling well? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Man, hope you're feeling better too, Rabbit. Rabbit's probably getting up, getting ready for the feeding of the wild beasts that she houses. So Miami police, they showed up to respond to a disturbance at a downtown open air mall on New Year's Day. I think I've been to this mall. It's been a while. If it's the one I think it is, it's the one right outside like the port of Miami. You can say that, right? I hadn't been up since 3 a.m. Right? I took my sleeping tablet. Ow, been up since 3 a.m. Man. Don't. Got to take care of yourself. Get some rest. And doing a lot better already. Your family, it seems. Oh man, what this is the bad part about all this getting sick, especially this time of year. I got it from the 4 and 5-year-old, niece and nephew, and that was not enough to like put me down, like knock me completely out, but it was pretty damn well close. My wife got it much worse. Hers went straight to her throat. I know that just sounds weird, but her voice was immediately like completely jacked. And she was concerned that it was going to get in her chest, and then it went to her sinuses from there. Getting a severe migraine, so we'd be out for a couple of days. Oh, And that's not good. Get rest. Really get rest. Lots of fluid. I found that helped me out quite a bit. Is lots of fluid, nice hot showers, the tea, the honey, all that kind of stuff didn't do anything for me. Um, it really didn't. I wish it would have, but it went. Well, Baker, it does happen. You know the phrasing. Before you get paralyzed on your left side. Oh, geez. Yeah. So ultimately, four individuals were arrested between 14 and 16. Now, if you saw how many cops showed up, you would think that we were under attack. But according, I guess this was on New Year's Day that this happened. Yeah, Bayside Market. I think that's the one. I'd have to look at it on a map where exactly it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. But with footage of the chaos and dozens of cops' cars lined up alongside Bayside Market, making the rounds online the following days, it wasn't long before cohort conspiracists, okay, had invented a very different story befitting the X-Files. You know, maybe we can watch this little video without getting.
4 teens are in jail this afternoon after an incident late last night at Bayside Marketplace.
See, now, whenever you have this many cops show up, it looks a little sus. Just saying. It was all throat stuff for your family, too. It was just body aches and fever for you. Oh. Yeah, look, see? Miami alien video leaks. Skizzle. I mean, come on.
They're charged with burglary, grand theft, and battery, among other things.
Yeah, mess out.
Yeah, you know, just this is what you get whenever you don't abuse your kids anymore. I mean, we pulled this kind of crap, we would get beat half to death. I think that went away. Why did that go away? Why did child beatings go away? Public floggings, where mom grabs the little one and hits them with a hairbrush across their diaper padded ass. It's gone away. Why? The kid wasn't being hurt. He's just scared.
There, NBC6's Amanda Placencia joins us live from Bayside, where things are once again calm, Amanda, but it is a major concern. A lot of cruise ship passengers come here. It's a tourist destination.
Yes, that's right, Constance and Lorena. Last night, just havoc ensued here at Bayside after a group of teens got into a fight. Chaos happened afterwards, and now.
Yeah, I think this is right across the thing from thing of Miami. Yeah, if you pulled that crap, your father would have tanned your ass with a cane, ended feather duster so I couldn't sit for a month. Damn right. That's absolutely right. Yeah, that would have happened. They weren't going to play.
Those 4 teens who were arrested are expected to appear in juvenile court later today. And here are some of those videos that were posted all over social media last night, showing that massive police presence. According to arrest reports, police say a large group of teens started causing a riot inside the mall and were lighting loud.
Okay, was it really a riot? Because we know what riots look like. Riots are where you go unarmed into a building and that you were let into. I mean, that was considered a riot.
Fireworks, they were entering businesses, possibly armed with sticks, causing damage inside stores and just creating panic for people inside Bayside. Now, as officers tried to control the situation, they tell us they had.
So do you think that's what it was, or were they shopping? It's become a new trend to shop without paying, isn't it?
To shut down Biscayne Boulevard for 6 blocks until that all clear was given. A group of 50.
Yeah, I mean, where are the parents? You pull this stuff whenever I was a kid, acting a fool like this, man. Parents would be all up in there. They would not tolerate that stuff.
At a nearby 7-Eleven.
Yeah, see, showing up in a ski mask at a mall is not a good idea in Miami. Come on, dude.
downtown. One victim in the chaos told police that a teen threw something at his car, and when
Oh, she lost her weave right there. See that? Lost her weave. Gotta hold it.
when he got out to check it out, he was jumped by a group of male teens. He told police that they went into his car and then stole his iPhone. Now, 4 teens between the ages of 14 and 16 years old were arrested last night. Now, 2
Yeah, they were shopping without tapping their credit cards. Clearly. Could never thought of that because the thought of what my father would do if I was caught. Yeah, Megan. That's so true.
have been charged with burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, grand theft, battery, and resisting an officer without violence. 2 others were arrested for resisting an officer.
Are these the aliens? That's what I'm wondering because I still haven't seen any aliens. Oh. So let's see what they got here with this guy. This is what got it all going.
Wives, because the Martians are here. Lock yourselves in the basement. This topic is blowing up right now.
No, it's not. You're just idiots. God, these people are so stupid. So that right there is what got everybody all worked up. That right there is what got everybody all worked up. 4 teens arrested at Incident Bayside. It's because the amount of police that come hauling ass up in there. So how is this really a big deal? If that's what's happening, let's see. Everyone still calls it formerly Twitter. Look at this. On Friday, Miami Mall trended on X, formerly Twitter. Like, if you don't know that it's X now, I just think it's damn funny. I still call it Twitter. Just call it fucking Twitter. You didn't have to change the name. Has said he needs says it needs to become far most accurate source of information about the world. That's stupid. The misinformation conspiracy theory accounts, many favored by the site's algorithm thanks to their paid verification badges. What is that? What does being a paid verification badge have to do with anything? Just means you paid. That's it. You pay to be verified. I'm not paid. I'm not paying to be verified. I don't think I'm verified. Twitter accurate? That should scare the bejesus out of you. Yes. That's the biggest part about this. Twitter? Really? I mean, just because enough stories are coming in doesn't mean it's true. Suss that crap out for yourself. I mean, the worst part is that people actually buy into it and believe it. Like, why would you? Could you be any more stupid? No, I forgot. We are talking about Twitter. Great. Yes, you're still an idiot. I mean, some of it can be serious, but check it out for yourself. If you can't verify it, then disregard it until you can get some sort of verification on it. I mean, I think back when I was visiting France, my wife and I were there for Bastille Day in Paris, watching the fireworks with, I don't know, a couple million French people and Americans and Germans and whatever. I mean, it was a tourist thing. She didn't plan it that way. That just happened to be the time of year that we were there. And so we, were there for Bastille Day, and we pack up and left the next morning, like really early in the morning, and flew back to the US. And no sooner did I land that I'm getting, the Twitter notifications and saying that there were riots, on the same exact bridge where I was hanging out with probably about 50 or 60, Parisians and Germans and Spaniards and all kinds of people that were just there enjoying fireworks, hanging out. They were saying there were riots. I saw not a single fucking riot at all. I was like, yeah, you're full of shit. And that was before you got into the whole where you could like do verifications on that kind of stuff, where you see a bullshit story and you can give it context. So probably some 10-foot aliens or shadow creatures. The term Nephilim, I guess, Nephilium, I don't know what that is. I guess that's some sort of Angel. Always verify your sources. First year college student. But see, that's the problem. I'm not a first year college student. About 90% of these people are, I don't think they graduated high school, let alone got out of the trailer park. These beings mentioned in the Hebrew Bible are sometimes portrayed as giants or fallen angels. Yeah. Winning reality night went over one of these things. That was pretty funny. We're going over debunking some of the alien conspiracies, the Nephilim, and all that kind of crap. We got a good kick out of it. You should check those out. Some misleading tweets falsely claim that there was no media coverage of the incident, baselessly reported as individuals had fired guns at the shadow beings and overstated the extent of the lockdown in the area. Police had to shut down 6 blocks of traffic, and the number of vehicles likely had more to do with fireworks causing panic about a possible mass shooting. Yeah, that sounds about right. A few implied it was all intended as a distraction from the unsealing of documents related to sex traffickers. No, I mentioned this on mine, fair, but you should not have to be. So now on my evening show that if you saw it last night with Jessica Reloaded and Vilhammer, we were reading those documents, and they're pretty disturbing. Which is, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I just gotta do this because, where else can you get this? Give me just a second. I'll find it here. There it is. Look at that. That's feral. Hey girl. I love it. Look at this. Look at it. I'm gonna show this because that is so awesome.
I hope it's not too loud because
No,
I'm sure
I can't even
okay.
hear it. No, there's
It's loud.
no sound whatsoever.
All right, good. It's a little bit
What does
louder
that
in here
say?
for me.
It says
Yeah. Shark coochie board because no one can say charcuterie.
Oh yeah, shark coochie board. Awesome.
Hey, Megan.
I love it. That is so cool. Yeah, Megan's pretty awesome here. Let me get back to this here. So how are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
What do you
go to bed here in a little bit? So.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I mean, you didn't have to. I know that you're not feeling the greatest, the top of the world, but
I'm doing a lot better today. So.
That's
I slept a lot yesterday. So.
Yeah. So, what do you think about these aliens attacking?
I was kind of half listening. I was trying to find my cord for my mic, but I don't know.
I didn't. I mean, I saw something about it on the news, and I sort of made a reference to it because both Jessica and I were starting on the reading for the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff, and I was just, my thing is it's amazing that the news all of a sudden started reporting on this as some sort of alien blah blah blah. I was like,
of course.
This is a distraction. It's amazing that they would latch onto this story. I never said anything about aliens being in there. I was just like, yeah, something about aliens. It's just a big distraction.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I said. And so whenever they come on,
aliens to distract us.
Yeah. Well, and then they come on there and they're just like, oh, a few implied it was all intended as distraction from the unsealing of the documents. No, the story that got latched onto by the media was, just because something's trending on Twitter doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be great. Here, I'll give you a perfect example why it's not great. You're gonna love this. Hopefully, it doesn't get me any trouble, but it's going to be funny.
Es ist dem Feind gelungen, die Front in breiter Formation zu durchbrechen. Im Süden hat der Gegner Zossen genommen und stößt auf Stahnsdorf vor. Der Feind operiert jetzt am nördlichen Stadtrand zwischen Frohnau und Pankow. Und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg-Marsdorf-Karlshorst gelangt.
Mit dem Angriff Steiners ist das alles in Ordnung.
Mein Führer. Steiner
konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt. Es bleiben im Raum Keitel, Jodel, Krebs und Butter.
That's fine, Farrell. I got you.
Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer schickt sie? Das mir sagen, wie mein Befehl zu widersetzen.
Liberal tears.
Jeder hat mich verlogen. Die gesamte Generalität ist in zwei ein Haufen niederträchtiger, treuloser Feiglinge!
Mein Führer, ich kann nicht zulassen, dass die
What
Soldaten
about
für Sie
Kamala?
Feiglinge! Verräter, Versager!
White House.
Was Sie da sagen, ist ungeheuerlich.
Die Generalität ist das Geschweiß des deutschen Volkes! Ist ohne Ehre! Sie nennen sich Generale, weil sie Jahre auf Militärakademie zugebracht haben, nur um zu lernen, wie man Messer und Gabel hält! Jahrelang hat das Militär meine Aktionen nur behindert!
Sorry. Don't ever change. Promise me now. No. I told you I was going to talk about politics here. How long have I been streaming? A total of like 23 minutes.
All right, I think I fixed it.
You think you fixed it?
My Steel Series crapped out on me.
Oh, that's no good.
Right?
Good morning, Puffer P. Good to see you. I thought you'd been going on longer. No. No, you would think I had whenever I start playing this in the morning.
This is true. This is true.
Widerstand in den Weg gelegt! Ich hätte gut daran getan! Und
Bye,
dann
Megan.
Offizier!
Oh, okay. Megan, you have a good one. You really have a good one. And enjoy. This may become a regular Monday morning thing, or possibly every morning. It just depends on how much sleep I get at night, the night before.
Yes. You could do this every morning. You can entertain me for my last hour of work every day.
Exactly. Well, the way I look at it is, if I can go to sleep early enough that I can set up the stream for the next day, then I can do it.
Right.
So if you're really feeling this scene. No, I don't have to be up early for the Seahawks. I'll be there. Awesome. Sounds great. I'm glad that you could. So is this like the Seahawks? Did you play? Or are you one of the players for the Aussie Seahawks? That'd be awesome to have like an actual female Aussie football player. Don't you think that'd be pretty cool?
Sure. I mean, that's kind of more you guys' thing, but it would
No,
be cool
I
for that to
mean-
be in your chat.
Is that Farrell? Yes, it's Farrell.
No.
Jesus. No, it's not Farrell. It's her laser machine here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a red wave coming soon.
Und doch habe ich allein Allein auf mich gestellt. Ganz Europa erobert.
Whoever did this is awesome.
Von allem Anfang an bin ich verraten und betrogen worden. Es wurde ein ungeheurer Verrat geübt am deutschen Volke. Aber alle diese Verräter werden bezahlen. Mit ihrem eigenen Blut werden sie bezahlen. Sie werden das kaufen in ihrem eigenen Blut.
Together. Let's go with this.
Like Michael too. Oh my god.
Actual footage.
Oh my god. That was so bad. I couldn't help it. Oh god, that just made my morning. When I saw, that's what I mean by it. You see shit that's trending on Twitter does not necessarily mean that it's news. Oh god. Anyhow, Ashton Forbes, reports are emerging that it wasn't kids fighting that led to dozens of cops' cars outside of Miami Mall a couple of days ago. Some witnesses are reporting 8-foot shadow beings were being shot at by people with others fleeing. It's like Babylon B.
It is.
Like you guys,
we don't even need them anymore. The real news is even better now.
Oh. Coffee in the morning is wonderful. I was at the Miami Mall yesterday, and the government is lying. There were no kids fighting. Everyone started panicking because these gray creatures were walking around. They didn't make noises or sounds, but stared and watched you move. I tried to take a video, but And then, of course, they finally add this stuff. There are now verified reports that it was a fight between a group of teenagers involving firecrackers. Additionally, the event took place on January 1st.
Aww. So it's not aliens?
No aliens.
Bummer.
Here's an eyewitness to the mall encounter.
So, since nobody's going to talk about it, I figured, fuck it.
Sorry.
I was down in Miami for the New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Me and my girl, I got a little time share. We was down there on a mini vacay, just to start the New Year's off right. So anyway, we happened to be at that mall. So we had Foot Locker or whatever. Next thing you know, you start hearing all this commotion outside, sound like firecrackers or something. So you know what I'm saying? I grab her close. I'm like, yo, we about to get up out of here because I originally thought that they were shooting.
The music is killing me. I mean,
he's special. What?
Wow, that's my computer's going hog wild. It's getting hot.
Nice. It doesn't like the aliens.
I'm telling you. Weird. I've never heard it get like that.
What did
All
you
the
do?
fans just, I don't know. All the fans kicked up just really high right now.
Nice.
Oh, crap. I know what it is. I'll be right back.
Okay. Good morning, David. Are you going to be streaming more today or in Discord or anything? He's not even here anymore, is he? I think David ditched us too. You're muted.
Oh, so what it was is we got like a new robot vac for out in the sun porch. So because it's a really small area, but the Roomba wouldn't go under it. And you switch going. So I moved the Roomba down to the basement. Well, I forgot to reset the schedule for it. I was like, damn, that thing is my computer's getting loud, and I'm just listening on one side. And then I hear it getting louder. I'm like, God, it's getting louder. And I turn around and I see it like go past my doorway. I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot to reschedule that. Hey, Flatty. Good to to see you. Oh, you're awesome. This is great. This is great. This is what I wanted my mornings to be like. Is just have a nice chill kind of thing and send everybody off on their way.
I like it. That's it. There's never anything really going on at this time of day, so it's kind of nice.
I never really thought about it. Because this is usually the time that I'm waking up and moving about, and I was like,
Right.
I had
And
to,
a
I had
lot
to
of
make,
other people are too. And it's nice to have something just to listen to in the background when you're trying to do all that. So,
yeah,
or if you're like me and you're normally, I mean, I'm off today, but normally I'm getting off work and heading home, and there's just literally nothing to do when I get home. So,
I'm usually waking up, drinking some coffee and seeing the news that happened, just reading random shit on the
right.
stuff that
There's
happened.
a plethora of it. So,
Yeah. I was like, I talked with my wife. I was like, listen, I've got to change up. It's 11:45 a.m. here. That's awesome.
wow.
So you're like hitting at the noontime. That's very cool. Is that a picture of Flatty? Oh,
A little lunch break
I love that.
stream.
Yeah. I mean, this is like lunch break for the Aussies. That's even better. Like they can tune in and go, these Americans are idiots.
I'm sure they do that anytime they tune in.
Well, especially me. If they're watching me, then they know I'm an idiot. Yeah, but so you get people like this, they grifted on that stuff. Like, yo, we were totally there. This dude's like from Detroit. Yeah, we were on a mini vacay down in Miami. It's like, if anybody knows, it's like, no, he probably wasn't. Why? I don't care about the Rolling Stone bullshit. Theories go out of hand that the Miami Police Department spokesperson was compelled to inform TMZ that overheard footage of supposed gray creature was in fact a human being and their shadow. What is seen on this clip is a shadow of someone walking. They said if you look at the bottom of the shadow, you can see the person, no creature. This is so funny. It's just these people. Look at this. People listen to me. We're in the crazy part of this operation. Do you all really want to know why all those that look to be hundreds of the police cars were in Miami? I have one former associates of mine who called me, who I didn't hear from in 10 years on a private number. Police scanners, witnesses, cameras, phone recordings. All of this is being confiscated. They are, as I type this, scrubbing the web of all the people on social media trying to upload what they saw. You will not believe this. Something of this magnitude. Why? How troubled teens became $1 billion industry. Oh, that's right. You saw it. I don't even have to read this to know this. This little headline right here. Because you remember all the after school specials about smoking marijuana and crap
Of
like
course.
yeah. How did it become $1 billion industry? And it really wasn't troubled teens. All it was the latchkey kids.
Right.
You know, the kids that they're because it started getting so expensive that both parents had to work, and mom's getting up, pushing the kids out the door as soon as she can. Dad's already left for work. Dad doesn't get home until late at night because he's taking the train or whatever back in town. Mom's getting off work, about 30 minutes after the kids get home. And so, it's going to be an hour before she gets home. And, like us as kids, we would have a key to the front door. We would come home, we would unlock the door, come in, make ourselves some sort of like snack or after school dinner, or sit down and start working on our homework, whatever the case might be. If we had younger siblings, then we were making sure that we were there early for them, and making sure that they're getting home safe. And then half hour later, your parents would show up, And, you know, there you go. Go about your day or your evening, you know. Mom might be making dinner for dad whenever he gets home so she could put it in the oven and so it'd be warm for him. You know, that's but you know how troubled teens became $1 billion industry because we were unsupervised.
Exactly. They
And
actually have a program the public school here does, and they call it the Latchkey program, and it's basically just after school. It's an after school program that they do have homework help and things like that. And I don't know. I
that,
think it's like an hour or so after school every day.
that is so awesome. I think that
Yeah.
they should do more of that. I
Right.
mean, and have or at least have it available if you know if kids don't want to do it or don't want to use that
I
thing.
think like each teacher takes so many days. I think it's all volunteer for the teachers, and they take turns and do all that stuff. So it's kind of nice that they have that because there's
Yeah.
still a lot of people, especially now that both parents have to work, so they're not home when school gets out.
I
Try and keep
I
them out
just
of trouble a little bit more now.
well, we're never going to keep the kids out of trouble. I mean,
So
that's what
you
kids
can do
do.
things to mitigate it.
I mean, this is what kids do. We get whenever we were kids, we got into trouble. We found the most annoying shit that we could do to piss off our parents, whether it be, you know, pierce your ears. I mean, that was a thing for guys. Oh, you pierced your ears. And, oh my God, parents would lose their freaking minds over that crap. Like, and I guess
Not
there was some
me.
what was there some difference between whether you pierced your left or your right ear or some crap like that?
Hmm.
See, I don't know because like I pierced both my ears whenever I was, you know, like got out of the military.
Yeah.
Like and then I pierced them multiple times. And then I did a bull ring. Like seriously, I
Nice.
my what is it, septum still pierced. Like I can take like if I have a hoop earring, I can hang it through there.
I had an eyebrow ring.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could get anything through it now, but
Well, that heals up pretty well. I mean, that's like a flappy
yeah.
skin. But
Right. The tongue ones, they heal really quick. I had a tongue ring and that sucker
really,
healed in days.
ah, see, I never got onto the whole body piercing kind of thing where it was like
Yeah.
multiple parts of your body getting pierced. So it was like, just sounds painful. Tattoos even hurt anymore. Now that I've gotten older, I'm like,
Oh.
fuck, the last time I got my tattoo, that hurt like a son of a bitch. And that was like what, 10 years ago, almost 15.
Oh, I'm ready to get some more ink. I think I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
tattoo and go to Dollywood.
I need to get some stuff covered on my chest, but I want to
Mhm.
get my chest back up to where it used to look. So
So it looks decent when you do it.
exactly. Exactly. You only took out a couple of mailboxes. That's good, I guess. It's highly illegal. It's a federal offense, but you know, I would
Not
suggest
me. I was an angel child, so I didn't do any of those shenanigans.
shit.
Yes, a
Oh,
nice feral tattoo. It
yeah.
will
What
not
is it?
be coming out of Valhalla's tattoo gun. That's what I told expert. Expert streamed in the middle of the night last night. I said I was going to get an FNL tramp stamp.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
It would be. I
An
hear they're
FNL.
coming back, so
What, FNL or the tramp stamps?
tramp stamps. Get a nice scrolly FNL on my lower back.
I'm trying to you should get one of those like press on sticker things. You know,
Oh,
the kind
listen.
that you
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
No, I'm saying you get one and you show up with it and see how everyone reacts before you do that.
He's like, that's a regret tattoo. I don't care. I have a stoned worm tattoo. I'm okay with regret tattoos.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go is like, I support this idea. It's yeah, you know, I really want to be there for that weekend. because I think that's going
Yeah.
to be an absolute blast. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to because of with the wife.
Right. I hope you can. It's going to be a lot of fun, I bet.
I know. I mean, if nothing else, I would love to do the Friday Night Live with that. That would be a blast. That would be.
Laddie, I had to wait till I was almost 16 to get my ears pierced, and I've almost never wore earrings. I don't like them.
Yeah, I got rid of all of mine. I mean, I had what 7 and 6, so I had a total of 13 piercings, and I
Wow.
just eventually stopped wearing them. I was like, you have, especially riding a motorcycle. Great. What happens if I get in an accident and they have to take me to the hospital for head injuries and they have to give me an MRI and they have to pull these things out anyway? So I'll just save them
Right.
some time. If not, that machine will take them out. Those magnets are just
Oh, bloop.
rip them
Yep,
right
they'll
out.
be gone.
Like you heard about that guy that had like something in his skull or something like that.
Oh, I
Like the
did not think that was the body part we were going with, but
like
okay.
it. No, they did an MRI and it pulled out of his
Oof,
oof.
man, did he just
Like
forget it? Because like they ask you.
no, I think it was like he was under trauma and that's what they were trying to figure
Oh,
out what was
okay,
going on and didn't know.
gotcha. So they couldn't
I
ask
could have been
him.
wrong. I might have misheard it. I might have read that on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah,
So
it was on Twitter. It must be true.
yeah, of course. You're in your 50s and it's still a tomboy. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a tomboy. See, fair. My wife is she can be girly, but she is more of a tomboy. More
That's
like
how I am.
more like an older punk rocker, like the really not so disturbed, the smart one, that's
Yeah.
she just does it because she's got to rebel somehow kind of
Mhm.
thing where it's like I listened to Avril Lavigne or whatever, little skater girl, and think that they're all punk rock now. I was like, oh, you're so cute. I was like, oh, that's so cute. No,
It's
but
adorable.
it is adorable. I'm like, okay, I love you, dear. So whenever I see that, where was it going with this? In your 50s, still a tomboy. Yeah. So she's more of the punk rock girl. And I think that's why we sort of got along pretty well because, I was much more old school punk rock. Like as punk rock was like, I was catching the tail end of it as punk rock was really fading out in the 80s. That's sort of where I landed. And
Yeah, I was a toddler, so don't know.
geez, I always forget that. Yeah, it's same way with my wife. I mean, we've got a 7-year age gap. I think that's right, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's really odd whenever I talk about things like, being in the military in 1990s, she's just like getting out of the military in 1990. I went in 1986. She's just like, yeah, I was born in 79. I'm like, oh. The reason for the name is a double mastectomy due to cancer. I love it. I love having a sense of humor here. Oh, really, I do. I love having a sense of humor here because that is a horrible thing to have to live through. And having a sense of humor is the only way that we get through shit around this place.
Right.
I know Baker. Look at it.
Yeah.
Baker is 27 and barely remembers the 90s. Yeah, exactly. Such a young man. I have an idea for piercings as well.
I would like to hear these ideas, B.
Yeah, why don't you come on, B? I'll send you an invite. Oh, so of course, course, here's where we get into a little bit of the politics portion of it. And I hate doing it, but I have to, because this is a little bit of what this stuff is about. We get crap like this. It's always wonderful. 3 novel arguments by Republicans that threaten the Voting Rights Acts in 2024.
Oh, Lord.
Are you serious?
Yes, they are.
The Voting Rights Act had a roller coaster year in 2023. Well, and that would be because of a certain party. Your surgeon didn't like you because you wouldn't take it seriously. Well, fuck them. Seriously.
Right? It's your surgery. Like, you should be able to take it however you want to take it.
Exactly. It's like, here's the thing. I've got a good friend of mine that has got stage 3 cancer, or level 3, whatever that is. I always forget the terminology. And they thought whenever they went in the first time that it was going to be, they were working for a cure, to basically eliminate the cancer. They did chemo. They removed the tumors in his colon. They removed part of his colon, which meant that he had to have a catheter, or not catheter, but a bag. There was an infection in the bag after all of these surgeries, and then they found that now he's got cancer in his liver, his lungs, and it's just gone rampant on him.
Oh, this is the one you found out about at Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he still has the same sense of humor, because he hated it so much. Like, of course, pretty much everyone knew that he had cancer, and that's why, because he's a school teacher, that he was out for school, and people would go up. It's like, oh, you lost so much weight. You look so good.
Thanks.
He goes, well, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, cancer does that. And just
Right?
move on. And then he would get these people that were just like, oh, I feel so bad for you. Is there anything that I can do? How can I help you? And like wanting to coddle him. He's just like, I want you to talk to me like I'm a fucking human being.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't want you feeling sorry for me or having any pity on me. This is shit that happens, and I want to live my life as long as I've got left on this planet. Unfortunately for me, I know that I've got a very limited amount of time.
Right.
And you coming up and coddling me doesn't make me feel any better. So, I mean, he was he didn't want this whole sympathy party thrown for him. What he wanted is not to have the fucking cancer.
Exactly.
And, 2 teenage kids.
I like those t-shirts that say, yes, they're real, or yes, they're fake. The real ones tried to kill me. For ladies with breast cancer. I love those shirts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, God forbid he would try to trick. He tried every trick in the book to get you to have reconstruction surgery, but you wanted a flat chest. I ain't never going to wear a bra ever again.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of my what was it, step aunts? She had like we were talking like just bumps. There was nothing there, and she wouldn't wear a bra, and all the people would get all pissed off about it because like, how dare you not wear a bra? And she was like, I don't have anything to wear a bra for.
Right.
She goes, I'm comfortable wearing a t-shirt and going and riding horses all day while I move cattle from place to place. Why would I want to put extra clothing on?
Yes. Oh, and that it's not always safe either. I have a family member that had to have hers removed from cancer, and she did have reconstructive surgery, and they tried to kill her.
Yeah.
So she never did anything again after she had those removed. So
it's so crazy.
Just let people do what they want to do.
Yeah, if they don't want it, then they don't want it.
Right. I can see why a lot of women do want to. It's lose it.
Yeah.
I feel like they're lose. Yeah, I would drop mine in a
Oh.
heartbeat. I hear you,
Yeah.
Flatty.
She's just like, I had double D's. Damn. Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. I've dated when in my younger days, I dated like 3 different girls that were flat chested, and they were always like all concerned about it. And it was just like, why are you concerned about it? Doesn't make you any
Right.
less of a woman.
Morning,
Hey,
young.
young. Welcome. Good to see that you're awake. Yeah, I was never concerned with it. You know, they seem to be more concerned about it than me. It's like, but I can't compare it to these girls with these, large breasts. I was like, okay, you're a different person than them.
Not all it's cracked up to be.
It's like you've got a better personality than, this girl that you're like oogling because she's got such large breasts. It's like,
Right.
it's like be happy with what you have or don't have, and move on with your life. I don't know. Like my wife is not like this double D or anything like that. I mean, she's got nice breasts, but they'll always be perky. She's not gonna have to worry about sag. She was like, "Is that a problem?" I was like, "No, I don't care. They're boobs. I like boobs.
Faker.
Big, small, round. Boobs are like pizza, different size and filling, but always great." Exactly. I'm with you on that, Baker. That is my thought exactly. We like boobs. We like boob windows. We like the lack of boobs. If they're small boobs, big boobs, small nipples, large areolas, small areolas. It doesn't matter. We like boobs. I mean, might have a preference, but that doesn't change anything. So, while critics have been challenging the Justice Department as called the most successful piece of civil rights legislation ever adopted by the U.S. Congress since shortly after it was first enacted in 1965, that makes no sense. Civil rights legislation ever adopted by the United States Congress. That still makes no sense. I could read that a million times and that would not make a whole lot of sense to me. This sentence right here makes not a goddamn bit of sense.
Trying to read it.
Well, it says, while critics have been challenging what the Justice Department has called the most successful piece of civil rights legislation ever adopted by the United States Congress since shortly after it was enacted in 1965. What was enacted in 1965?
Is it linked in there in the blue? Here I'm scrolling to it like you could see my pointer.
I don't know. Introduction to federal voting. Okay, they're talking about that. Makes more sense now. Federal voting rights laws. Okay.
Yeah.
Or Voting Rights Act. It was initially 1965, extended in 70, 75, and 82. It's considered the most successful piece of civil rights legislation. They just cut, copied, and paste what this said.
Yep.
From justice.org. Oh, Jesus Christ. I could do that.
We could literally write better news articles with AI.
I'm telling you.
And we should.
This is horrible. So they just look. The first part of it right here, it says, is generally considered the most successful legal rights legislation ever adopted by the United States Congress. And of course, on this one, they say the most successful piece of civil rights legislation ever adopted by the United States Congress. But they give no context to it.
Well, before, I mean,
except for here's a link to where we got this bullshit from.
It's just their puff piece, so they can have something in there.
What is that? My favorites are the ones I touch without the slap. Ah, yes, we love the boobies. So conservative legal activist groups are trying out a variety of pretty radical claims that would have been beyond the pale 10, 15, 20 years ago, says Jesse Rhodes, political science professor at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, who wrote Ballot Blocked, The Political Erosion of the Voting Rights Act. Okay. But now that's not the very conservative majority. They think, why not? Let's give it a shot. They're hoping that some of these sets of claims will stick. One legal track by Alabama Republicans.
Ooh.
You're qualified. Yes. So going against decades of precedent, state officials argue that the year's last most high-profile case about Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, that race should not be taken into account when maps of voting districts are redrawn unless there's evidence of intentional discrimination. Well, doesn't that sound nice? Because, I got to think that, all of these, dark-skinned folks aren't self-confident enough or have the ability to speak for themselves.
Oh, yes. Well, don't you know, they need the white Karens to do it for them.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love that. Maybe we should get more white Karens to run our country. See how well that runs. It reminds me of like that Harry Potter where they just keep nailing rules up on the fucking wall.
Do I strike you as someone that's ever seen Harry Potter?
Yeah.
No, not even once.
It's an awesome scene.
Not
See,
my jam.
now you got me wanting to pull it up because it's so damn funny. I'm serious. It's hilarious, girl. Let me see if I can find it. I want to see if I can find it. Let me see if it's there. No. And the funny part is this particular scene is so damn funny because it's got the one that plays Elizabeth in The Crown, like the final year.
Never seen that either.
Let me see. I'll mute it so we don't get in any trouble for this kind of stuff, and see if it actually has it. Give me a second. Maybe. I'm looking to see if it's in there beforehand. Nope, it's not there. Damn it. I was hoping it was. I had to mute it.
Send it to me later.
I'll have to find it because it's so goddamn funny. They're like nailing all these rules up on the wall, and they just go for miles and miles. This is what would happen if you had Karens like running the world. I mean, I've got no problem if your name is Karen. That's not what I'm saying.
Right. I think by now people know what a Karen is.
Yes. It has nothing to do with the name. Let's see. So the most high-profile case, last year's most high-profile case. I'm trying to think what that was. Supreme Court unexpectedly upholds provision prohibiting racial gerrymandering. Okay. That makes no sense. Because I don't think this was the most high-profile case. By a vote 5-4 vote, a coalition of conservative and liberal justices reaffirmed the court's 86 precedent interpreting how legislative districts must be drawn under the landmark Voting Rights Act. Yeah. Position could reverberate across other states with reconsideration of how congressional lines are drawn in areas with significant black populations. Yeah, Chief Justice Roberts, wonderful. 3-district panel included 2 Trump-appointed judges. Well, yeah, Jesus Christ. And how many Clinton-appointed justices and how many George Bush-appointed justices?
Well,
this has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with anything. We see no reason to disturb the district court's careful findings. Yeah. Well, they all... I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't last year a more high profile case where they struck down
Yeah.
something about unaliving babies or something like that?
They sure did.
I'm pretty sure that was the most high profile one.
Well,
Wasn't that last year or was that the year before?
I don't remember. I think everything since 2020 is just kind of run
Kind
together
of a
anymore.
blur of
So
stupidity.
yeah, I gotta
This-
hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta go switch a channel
okay.
for a toddler.
I got you. I love it. Love it. I'm so glad Farrell could make it on here. Really, it's awesome. These people, Jesus. So that section which bans any standard practice or procedure that results in a denial of abridged or the right of any citizen in the United States to vote on account of race or color. Well, isn't that the opposite of what they said? Like, you're not supposed to do this by race or color? Oh, okay. Bans any standard practice or procedure that results in the denial or abridgment of the right of any citizen of the United States to vote on account of race or color. Okay. I'm confused. It's one of the key remaining parts of the law after a major Supreme Court decision in 2013. So this was another major Supreme Court decision in 2013. It's so confusing. 3 additional legal arguments have emerged, however, that could put Section 2 protections at risk, and some of the Supreme Court's conservative justices have already shown interest in these positions. Arkansas Republicans argue private individuals and groups can't sue. Well, that sucks. Pretty sure it was 22. I bet one of Baker's nuts. One of his cream-filled nuts. For decades, private individuals and groups have brought the majority of lawsuits seeking to enforce Section 2. And when Congress amended the Voting Rights Act in 82, House and Senate committees put out a report saying that there's what is called in the legal world a private right of action under that section of the law. But in Arkansas, redistricting lawsuit filed by gerrymandering happens between both Republicans and Democrats. Like, Democrats come in, they gerrymander. Democrats, Republicans, whatever. Doesn't matter. Everyone's freaking doing it. They're rewriting district lines. It's just astounding. Assistant professor of political science. Wait, assistant. Okay, read that really close. It's astounding, says Adrian Jones or Adriana or whatever, an assistant professor. Sweet cheeks, you're an assistant professor. That means you're not good enough to be like top of your class. And you work at freaking Morehouse College. So is it Morehouse College that focuses on voting rights, or is it just this person that focuses on voting rights? Well, Adrian, you're an idiot. Neil Gorsuch put out a one paragraph concurring opinion joined by Justice Clarence Thomas that raised the question of whether federal law allows private individuals and groups to sue under Section 2. Well, let them fucking sue. Let them sue if they want to. It invites challenges, and here comes the challenges. We have a very conservative court. No bullshit. You tell me where we have a conservative court. Tell me where we have a conservative court. Because the majority of courts in this country are not conservative. Maybe state by state they are, but overall, no.
That's an interesting bet. What did I miss?
Interesting bet. He said that pretty sure it was 22. I'll bet one of Baker's nuts.
Yeah. What are we?
He was talking. We were talking about the abortion.
Okay. That's a nice bet.
That's French for tacos.
Yeah.
It invites challenges. Here comes the challenge. We have a very conservative court. I guess she's talking about the Supreme Court as a very conservative court. I doubt that very much. I doubt that very much. Just because you have one more than the other.
So yeah, so
very conservative. Very conservative would
very...
be very conservative would be having 8 justices out of 9 that are conservative.
So did they ever call it a very liberal court?
Before? No, that's very democratic.
Why not?
Because it's a very democratic court. There's no such thing as liberals. Liberals are like fucking unicorns.
Yeah.
I've never fucked a unicorn, but I hear that it's wonderful. We have a very conservative court that has no issues with overturning precedents at an alarming rate. I mean, that's so. Wait a second. Didn't a certain president, as soon as they got into office, eliminated like everything that Trump did? It wasn't just like, oh, 1 or 2, or these are actually pretty good. It was like, no, we're wiping out everything because that's what we do.
Every single one, and then redid some of them the exact same way and took credit for it.
Yeah. Just stupid people. All of that was just a waste of time. And that's what that was what they were trying to do with the Trump.
Well,
just basically saying everything that he did was wrong. Everything he did was bad. It was a waste of time. And this is what would have happened if we would have been elected 4 years ago instead of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a bunch of like whiny ass bitches. I mean, I would honestly say, and I could be wrong on this, that the next person that comes in, Democrat, Republican, they're going to wipe out a whole bunch of the shit that their predecessor fucking wrote in.
Right. That's the new precedent.
Yeah.
We're setting a lot of new precedents is what we're doing, and people aren't going to like it when the shoe's on the other foot, and it's just going to become a pissing match.
That's all it is. Enough to get the Republicans all worked up, and enough to get all the Democrats, worked up.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't this make sense right here? Alabama Republicans argue Congress can no longer allow race-based redistricting. That's that makes sense to me, right?
Right. I
mean, if you have race-based districting, wouldn't that be fucking racist?
It doesn't count when you do it like that. You're right, Rabbit.
I think I'm fucking confused here. Exactly. Both Dems and Republicans are whiny butts. Absolutely. Sorry for the language. It's 7:30 in the morning. These people
they have us headed down a path that they're really not going to like.
Though the Supreme Court rejected Alabama's attempt to severely limit how race can be used when redrawing voting. Okay. Didn't they just say that they're not supposed to be? I'm confused. They just
want them drawn the way they want them drawn.
Well, here's the thing.
Right.
This one here, and I guess I must have just completely skipped over this, because if I'm not mistaken, that race should not be taken into account when maps of voting redistricts are redrawn unless there's evidence of intentional discrimination. All right.
So let's draw them this way.
So they just said they were speaking out against this. And then not even one short story later, they're talking absolutely out the other side of the mouth. NPR, get your head out of your fucking ass, because it is so far up there that you can taste your tonsils.
Are you new?
Fuck me. These people are stupid. They're breaking up black areas so it becomes a few in a large white pool. I like large white pools. I prefer the water to be blue and salt water. I don't like swimming in a black pool. The reason I don't like swimming in black pools is I can't see the bottom. Large white pool, clear water makes me. I see. I have problems swimming in lakes. I mean, I'll swim in a lake, but if I can't see the bottom, I'm always like scared that there's going to be like some little like green creature come out of the depths like a swamp thing and like grab me and pull me under. I like swimming in the
No,
Caribbean.
I wouldn't know. I'm sure I would enjoy it too, but
Like diving, doing like a 60-foot dive where the water is crystal clear is freaking awesome.
I bet.
Down there swimming with some sharks and crap like that.
Hmm.
Pretty
So no
neat.
swamp creatures, but sharks, okay?
Yeah, because you can see them.
Okay.
Sharks are really chill.
If
They're
you
not
see
trying.
it coming,
Yeah, you can see it coming. It's like, don't you want to see it coming? Oh,
not really.
that came out wrong. Don't you want to see it coming? No, I close my
Well,
eyes. Close my
I
eyes.
mean,
You don't? You don't close your eyes? You see it coming, right, girl? So let's see. After finding that the maps drawn by Alabama Republican-controlled legislator likely violated Section 2 by diluting black voters' power, how are you? You're not diluting anybody's power. See, this is the problem with democracy. Whenever people go, this is a democracy. This is the problem with a democracy. It is two wolves and a sheep deciding what's for fucking dinner.
yeah,
And that's their problem.
right.
Because you wouldn't have this problem if you didn't base your votes on whether someone is black or white, or your districting, whether someone is black or white, but what was best for the district.
Right. Yep.
If the people don't want to have, and this is the beauty of America, is if you don't like the rules in one place, move to another fucking place. It's really goddamn easy.
Exactly.
And here's the argument that I hear on this side of it is, well, it's very expensive for people just to up and move because they don't like what's going on. Then fucking tolerate it.
Yeah.
Get out there and change people's fucking minds if you don't fucking like it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that you can fucking do. If you can't move, then fucking tolerate it until you can. But just know that you have that ability. It's not like you are forced to live in one particular area.
Right. That's part of the reason that I live where I do now, is because there are some things where I would like to live that don't work out well legally for my family right now. So we're not. We have I homeschool, and there's some homeschooling laws in that state that I don't care for. So we live here.
Exactly. Until they change it.
Right. Or until I don't have to worry about them anymore.
Well, and that's, and somebody I heard made a really good point, which is that if you don't like the rules in the area, you shouldn't be running away from it, that you should be changing the rules in that area.
Yeah, true.
But there's also a point where if you know that you're never going to get those rules changed in that area, why would you
Right.
torture yourself like that? So
Right.
I see both
And
sides.
for the love of God, stop making the rules to be crap nobody can live with, and then run away from the stuff that you created, California.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest part of it. I'm going to go grab some more coffee. I'll be right back. Give me just a second. And I can put on some music if you want for the meantime.
You do what you want to do. Nobody's really chatting, so.
Oh, they will. They'll talk.
I'm not like you, an expert. I can't just sit and talk to myself.
Really? Oh, I can totally talk to myself for hours. It's more fun to talk with other people.
Right.
But I do need to get some more coffee. And I suggest everybody grab some coffee. Grab some coffee.
Yes.
It'll be delicious. It'll be delicious. And what we'll do is we'll watch Farrell's 3D printer. That's what we're going to do.
There we go. That'll work.
See, we're just going to watch we're going to watch her print her coochie board. Her shark coochie board. Got it. All right. I think I'm back now.
Yeah, it's actually doing a reburn because I didn't like because of the grain in the wood.
Yeah.
It was real light, so I'm redoing it with a higher power setting. It's still that grain. I think I'm gonna do another one and try and run it the other direction so it goes against the grain and see what that does.
Yeah. Because that is going to be maple that you're
It's
burning into.
it's bamboo.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
so it is even
bamboo cutting
harder.
board. So I
Yeah.
think if I go against the grain, it'll help. This is just one that I'm doing for a friend, so he's not super gonna care anyway, but
Well,
we'll
and
see
I'm
what
wondering,
happens.
once you oil that board, would it
Right,
darken
that's
it
what
up?
I'm gonna see. I gotta get some mineral oil and I gotta get some food grade mineral oil and seal it with that, and we'll see.
They make one that's for butcher block that it works really well, and
Yeah.
it has a mixture of mineral oil and beeswax in it.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot
Um,
of people on my different Facebook groups talk about the butcher block oil.
yeah,
So
it's
we'll
pretty good
see.
stuff. It's pretty good
And if it
stuff.
doesn't turn out, that's fine too. I'll redo it, and it's not like they cost a whole lot of money. So
Yeah, I
so
mean, you can.
that's what I'm doing right now is just making stuff so I can get to know the machine better. And
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I've got to print out your little feet. Um,
yeah,
so David's piece and that I printed out. I'm going to reprint that.
I'm okay.
Um, yeah, because there's a big crack in it. See, I've got a
Okay,
little tiny version of it. There's
I
a
know
big
I love
crack in
that.
it that goes right across the whole thing, and it's
Right.
bad. And then everything's off centered. So what I did, because I was like, I need to figure out a way to make this work a little bit better, so it doesn't have that
Right.
problem. So it's going to get printed upside down. Um,
Okay.
I think because on the top of this, you can sort of see it's got some roughness to it, and I think that he'll still have that, but that'll sand out because I'm using it, I'm making it thick enough that you can sand it out.
Right. That you're like me, like, nope, I'm just gonna redo it and like I'm clumsy. I made clumsy astrological wheel on a mirror and I'm gonna redo it. She's like, "Oh no, it's great." But I have to because I don't like the font that is on it, so I'm gonna take all that out and put a different font in there and redo it. I mean, it's learning your machine and so you
Yep.
can have a good quality product, and so I don't mind doing stuff over and over. The one thing that I made, I think I did it like 4 different times before I was ready to send it.
Oh, did it really?
So,
Only 4?
well, it was just a mirror, so it didn't take a whole lot to get it the way I wanted it.
True.
And I'd already done like a bunch of different mirrors before I did it, so
So crazy. It's so crazy.
Baker.
Yeah, I saw that. Maybe the crack isn't that big. Maybe your tools are tiny. Well, and here's some, and this is an argument that I've heard before. Here's where it becomes a problem with eliminating the electoral college. 90% of your population or more lives in cities. Okay.
Right.
They do not understand what it's like to live rural. I honestly do not understand what it means to touch grass or to see trees or to plant
Or to have livestock,
or to have livestock.
like
So the
reintroducing
rules that apply
predators.
in a city, those particular things that apply in a city do not necessarily translate to rural.
Mhm.
Like in the city, they want you to have a dog on a leash everywhere you go. How do you do that if you have a dog that's a sheep herding dog? You have to put it on a leash? Well, according to their rules, you would. So this is where it becomes a problem. The reason that the Electoral College is there is to allow those votes to happen across the state. It makes it where the rural has just as much of a voice as the city, and it evens it out, supposedly. Not necessarily that it works that way, but you end up with a little bit more of a balanced way of doing things. And that's why they have certain districts and things of that sort. Because here's the way you have to look at it on a micro level and a macro level. That large overview. We are a United States as a whole. The United States is broken down into smaller states. Those smaller states are broken down into counties. Those counties are broken down into cities. What works for a city doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for a whole country. What works for a country does not mean it's going to work for a whole city. And the same way with states. States need to still have their own rights, their own ability to self-govern, same way as a small city or a small town. Those rules that are applied federally don't always work locally. And that's why we have to have that separation. Different than also sort of like the separation of church and state. Because if the state had its way, they would eliminate religion. Absolutely just destroy it. It would be fucking gone. It would be one fucking religion. This is religion that you have to have. If you don't believe this, then you just need to go.
Right. And
we'll unalive you.
Why this separation exists. It's not, everybody thinks it's to keep religion out of politics, and it's not. It's to keep the state from mandating religion.
Politics. Exactly. That's it, and that's the misconception people get. And I understand. Yes, there's issue. Is the Electoral College perfect? No, but it's much better than the alternative, because the alternative would be complete chaos and mayhem.
Was it your stream? Was it your stream? We were talking about the wolves being reintroduced. Somebody's
oh yeah, yeah. That was in France. Well, we went to a goat farm where they were doing
oh no, they are doing it in the United States, like Colorado. I think maybe it was on Baker's. They're doing it. I think it's like Colorado or somewhere like that. They're reintroducing wolves somewhere. I can't remember what state it was for sure, but I said, yeah, go ahead. Let's reintroduce them right downtown in your big city and see how you like it, because the farmers sure as heck don't want it.
No.
They will tear up the ranches and
a lot of times those animals will reintroduce themselves. And I'll explain. You don't have to bring anything in. It will do it on its own. That happened in France. The wolves started coming back into the area because, people lived in these areas in France, where we went and visited. This goat farm was very particular. All of the families, like the oldest, would move off to the cities. And so the people that were running the farms sort of aged out, and basically the family property would go into disrepair. And it would go in disrepair. Nobody would be there to like take care of it. And, they would lose it in a tax sale or whatever. Over decades, this basically these, nice little towns that were once a thriving farming village just no longer existed. Then the French, the EU came in, because France is part of the EU, and made rules. Okay, that this is why what big cities decide does not make sense in country. They made the EU as an overall made rules that any of these places that were abandoned, they had to tear down these walls. No joke. Tear down all of these walls. Well, those walls were holding back certain parts of the land. And whenever they broke down those walls, eventually things started deteriorating, like drastically. Like they were providing terraforming kind of issues. So then now they're actually paying people. They paid people to tear down the walls. Now they're paying people to build them back up, these same walls, and reclaim the land. So what they did was they eliminated anybody that was there hunting in that area. And so the deer started overpopulating the area. And whenever the deer started overpopulating the area, they had no predators. So the predators actually moved into the area because this is
That's where
easy
the food
pickings.
is. Yep.
It's like, why are we going to fight over here to get food whenever we can go and we've got plenty here? So the predators started thriving, and then people started moving back in. Now they have a large wolf problem, so they have to kill off all the wolves, just to basically get that equilibrium back. And there is a balance in that, but it's crazy.
I am. Hi, Maddie.
Yeah. This is her left thigh. She's been working on this for a while, because she's got wood.
I know. Maddie offered me some earlier tonight.
Offered you some wood?
He did.
What? I mean, is it hardwood or is it a softwood?
Pretty sure it was hardwood.
Pretty sure that was a hardwood. I mean, I prefer working with hardwood also. It does become more difficult to get it all glued together, but it happens. It happens.
Oh, it does.
What is that? Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Washington, Oregon had successful reintroduction to what?
Successful for who?
I'm serious. So Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Washington, Oregon had successful reintroduction for what? That's why I'm curious. Reintroduction to wolves?
Yes, it was Colorado that we were talking about. Some group in Boulder, I believe, did the thing so they could reintroduce them into the Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, I think here's what I think. I think reintroducing wolves into Seattle would be a beautiful thing.
Right? Yes,
I mean,
I'm
don't
all
you
for that. I will
agree?
sign that. As I said, somebody needs to do one of those fake petition things that they do sometimes on college campuses where they talk them into signing something that they think is great, and then they find out that it's actually like going to affect them, and they're like, "Oh, no, sorry about that." Like, have
Yeah.
everybody sign a petition to reintroduce wolves into downtown Boulder. Like,
Yeah, one of me and my buddies, we went to Chicago for another friend of ours' wedding. And he was just like, I have never seen the Sears Tower and that kind of stuff. And so I was like, well, I'll walk with you. We walked around, it's not the Sears Tower anymore. I forget what it's fucking called. They changed the fucking name on me. It's horrible. So we wandered around and we ran into a group of protesters. Okay. This was years ago. The protesters were protesting that we needed to start tearing down buildings and eliminating all of the buildings in Chicago because, well, there wasn't enough green.
imagine that.
I was like, well, it is a city. I like, why don't you take your ass about 30 minutes that way and tell me what you see? And this is like in late summer. What was it? Summer. Yeah, it was starting to get a little chilly out. So late summer. So they still hadn't plowed fields. And I mean, you fly into Chicago and it's just like you see right outside of Chicago, you see Chicago looks like a big like asshole. And then outside of it is like, it's like all this lush green land. And I mean, it's just farmland. The dirt is like this really black topsoil that's like really, really nutrient rich in nutrients. It's like here in Georgia, you get like red Georgia clay that like sticks to everything and stains it all. It looks freaking horrible. Look at there.
GG.
Montana cattle ranchers, a friend of mine, not too happy about the increase in wolf population. Yeah. Okay, so they wanted to tear down their own houses and businesses. Oh no, these are people that don't have houses or business. They're 20 something year olds. And this was like, what, 15, been about 18 years ago. Yeah, about 18 years ago, whenever we went there. No, these were 20-year-old kids that live with their parents, and they're being lied to by their local government of, that we're destroying the planet by putting up all these concrete buildings. The stone's killing us all. The stone is killing us all.
Yeah. See what happens. Don't get stoned, people.
Yeah, don't get stoned. You get stoned and live with your parents. I think parents should just pack your stuff up and send it to a storage space and give you the key and see you bye.
Sell you the key.
I mean, it's amazing. It always amazes me, and I've been trying to figure this out. I see people on the YouTubes or on TikTok, and they're bitching about how horrible life is and how expensive food is. Yes, we know it's expensive. We know all of these things, and then
Well, everything is.
And then on the same hand, they're doing it from like the front seat of their BMW. That on a $2,000 fucking iPhone or whatever phone that they're using. It just amazes me. It's like, or they're bitching about what movie they saw last night and how expensive it is to go see a movie. It's like get rid of this like immediate this dopamine that people are getting under at it. I don't understand. Like,
people just want to complain.
Get rid of your phone, get rid of your car, walk, take the bus, whatever you need to. That's what we did whenever we couldn't afford shit. Like, if you're having trouble making ends meet, figure out where you can budget and make shit much better. Did they not take home ec?
They don't. No, they don't offer it anymore.
What? Why
Most
not?
places don't offer it. That's
Why
not a
not?
thing anymore because that gets in the way of learning about
Interpretive
things.
dance?
Yeah, like they don't teach anything like that anymore.
That makes no sense to me. I mean, because everyone thinks that home ec was about, how to sweep the floor or wash dishes or some crap like that. I mean, that was part of it, but it was how to run a budget. Like home economics. It's cheaper to bake your own cookies than buy them. It's cheaper to patch up your clothes instead of buying a new set. That's what home ec was about. Right. I mean,
did you ever watch Roseanne? Like the old version of it, not this new crap thing since it kicked her off of it, but there was an episode on there where it's like take your parent about their jobs and stuff, and she goes in and does it, and about being a housewife and takes the kids shopping and brings them over and has them cook a meatloaf, and it was actually a really good episode about how to we don't get to buy that stuff for our meatloaf because we coupon shop, so we're buying this for our meatloaf. And
exactly.
Pretty good.
Wait, what? I have a $50 phone and no car, and these people are complaining? Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you have a $50 phone, no car, but you how rough it is to make ends meet. But these people that, have $1,000 phones, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cars, their rent in their city, they're paying $25,000 for, just so they can walk down to their local coffee shop and get charged $20 for or whatever it is at that coffee shop for their bagel and a coffee, because they don't know how to fucking cook for themselves. I mean, I joke not. I mean, I made coffee this morning. I made some wonderful coffee. My budget on coffee is for like about 2 weeks worth of coffee is the same that someone would pay for 1 cup. Just saying, you want a budget. That's what you do. And it's a supply and demand kind of thing. All right. Because the supply is low, demand is high for fast food, the prices are going to keep on going up. And then, of course, people start asking for more money because I'm not making enough money to actually even eat the food where I'm working at. So I need to be making $15, $30 an hour. And then the price goes up because the demand for, stupid people's money is very low. You don't even have to have high demand for stupid people's money. They're just willing to throw it at you. And that's what they do. They throw stupid money at stupid things. Why McDonald's opens up multiple locations and Chick-fil-A and all these fast food joints open up multiple locations? Have you ever seen what happens whenever you open up a Whataburger I think it was in Atlanta, they opened up one not too long ago. They had lines down the freaking block. It's like, why? Why? For a fucking burger? Really? Okay. Yeah, absolutely, Rabbit. You're on a fixed income, so you have to budget. But according to the city that you live near, that's more than enough. You're given more than you need, Rabbit. That's how they believe. Because you should be taxed on every single bit of wildlife that you have. Every bit of stock that you have, you should be charged for. They believe that you should be not allowed to can your own fruits and vegetables. That's what they believe. They think you should be taxed on that. How is it fair that you, Rabbit, are allowed to store food? You're going above and beyond. And if they can't get it, you should not be able to have it either. That's how cities believe. This is the mentality of people that live in cities. They're envious of it, so they will exactly. But you would be taxed on even more. I mean, this is my point. What works for you does not work for cities, and vice versa. What works for rural areas doesn't work for cities. There's a reason why you have dogs on fucking leashes in cities. There's a reason why they have those leash laws, is because you don't need, that 80-pound pit bull, come charging down and like rip your 5-year-old apart. That's why they make those leash laws. They don't make those leash laws for the little Shih Tzu that, that's humping your leg. They're making it for that 80-pound pit bull that's humping your leg.
They should. And that's the kind of things that they should be teaching in school. How to container garden, how to budget, how to cook food.
But here's the thing. Should city people be forced to container garden?
No.
That's my point.
No, but teach people that.
Oh, absolutely.
People don't do that because they don't think that, well, I don't have a yard, so I can't have a garden.
Oh, I don't have green thumb. I can't do that. No,
yeah.
There's people in cities that have gardens, like rooftop gardens and crap like that. Not enough. My wife's friend that lives in Chicago, she's part of a group that has like a rooftop garden.
Yeah, not enough people do though.
Well, and there's not enough. The food there isn't going to last very long anyway. I mean, it's on a rooftop in Chicago. You've got 3 months out of the year that you actually have that's good growing time.
Well, I mean, you can do it inside too, and
no, you can't. Not in a city. No, hell no, you can't. No, you can't. You know why? You don't have any space.
It does not take a whole lot of space to have a small, even just a salad garden.
They don't have a whole lot of space. I'm being dead serious whenever I say this. These condos that people are living in, they're lucky if they've got after you put all your shit in there, that they've got about 300 or 400 square feet of actual floor space. If even that, they have no space. They'll have a spare bedroom, they'll have their main bedroom, and we're talking about just a couple. And if you're raising a family of 4, forget it.
Right.
You're moving your ass out of the city. You can't do it.
Right.
If you saw these places where these people leave, it's tiny. I mean, they're crammed up on top of each other.
No thanks.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Schools need to be I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
But that's not the route we're going to go with. Bought this $50 phone about 5 years ago, and my check is less than $1,000 a month. Yeah, and people complain about my container garden. They tell me it's an eyesore. Yeah. But I guarantee you, whenever you pluck one of those nice tomatoes off of there, or some of that fresh lettuce, and give it to them, they don't fucking complain.
That's I do have area to have a garden, and I still do container gardening. I like it better.
Yeah, and Rabbit's like she's so thankful for the farm, but she's getting too old to keep it, and that's the crux of it, because it is constant care. I mean, it's not like you can just sit there and go, yeah, I'm not going to do anything today. If you go a couple of days or a week or so without doing anything, then things start falling into disrepair like really quick, and then you have to work twice as hard to get it back up to par. I understand where Rabbit's coming from. There's certain things that you can let go, but there's some things you just can't.
Right. That's once mom and dad were living on the farm, it went quick, and we have a guy living there now that just takes really good care of it, but it took him a long time to get it back to where it was something to just take care of and not a giant project. So
does this make sense to you here? Louisiana, Georgia Republicans argue the end of race-based affirmative action should also mean race-based redistricting should also end. I don't know. See, I've got really no super opinion on this. I really don't. As much as I'm talking about this, I really don't. I'm just trying to understand where other people are coming from with it. Because personally, I really don't care. And you can call that white privilege. It's just like, yeah, let me tell you what white privilege got me growing up. It usually got me fucking punched in the face. Serious, because I just happened to be fucking white. I mean, I had a teacher, in what was it, 7th, 8th grade, sitting there screaming and yelling at me because I was white.
Nice.
Because I was white. Like I'm the reason why his family was enslaved.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, do that to a young teen. And then everybody kicks your ass after class because the white kids' parents had them enslaved. My grandparents came over in 1901. They were a bunch of fucking Polacks. They had nothing to do with your fucking slavery.
Right.
My other grandparents lived in the Appalachian Mountains, were fucking hillbillies.
Right, but that doesn't matter.
They don't understand this shit.
Right.
Do my grandparents have anything to do with your fucking bullshit? No. Did my great grandparents? Oh, definitely fucking not. They weren't even in this country.
Right.
Now, my wife's family, on the other hand, well, we won't talk about that. Maybe that's what she's trying to do. That's why she's so liberal. In Louisiana, Republican state officials have been trying to make similar argument about whether race-based redistricting should be allowed. No, I don't think so. Isn't that called segregation? I mean, am I right? Isn't that segregation?
Only if you do it one direction.
No, any sort of shit like that is called segregation. I mean, you're saying you want to separate the darkies from the lighties. It's crazy. If eliminate any semblance of white guilt I ever had. White. When the movie Roots came out, I got slammed against the gym lockers and screamed at for owning people. Oh God, yeah, same here.
Good Lord.
Oh yeah, that was in the 70s, like mid 70s if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was part of it. I mean, I grew up outside of Chicago in a little multiple little towns because my parents moved a lot. So like Calumet City, Valley View, Grant Park. I mean, these are all like on the outskirts of Chicago. And I will tell you, from my experience with that bullshit, we were, middle class growing up, and we moved into Kankakee, which is like a little, they called it Little Chicago. We had Latin Kings, Vice Lords, Bloods, Crips. I mean, it was, all these fucking gangs coming out of Chicago. And it was all of the white people said, because this is about the time that they're really starting to move on the segregation and bringing in, they're actually busing kids from poorer districts into richer districts and busing kids out of richer districts into poorer districts to sort of balance it out. It's like, okay, so it sounds good. I mean, we're trying to, mix these fine kids all together and get them to understand what it's like. And then it got like stupid crazy because, you had kids that were in Bloods or Crips districts moving into kids areas where they were Bloods or Crips districts, like crossing these kids over. And so they're getting in fucking fights, and you're like the white kid that, grew up in some other place, and you're moving into a town and everything costs more. So you're living in one of the poorer districts and you're getting your ass kicked on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, you have nothing to do with their fucking beef, but you're just the one that happens to be in there. And your ancestors were political prisoners and Native Americans. Yeah, mine were political prisoners, and I think there's some Native American in there somewhere, but my grandparents on my mother's side would never talk about it. So I don't know. My grandmother was a redhead. Like, we're talking ginger redhead. Like red. Until it wasn't. Then it was gray. My grandmother was awesome. She's batshit crazy, but she was awesome.
My grandpa, they always said that he was part Native, and he always very adamantly denied it. And everyone always just assumed because he was racist. And then my siblings all took Ancestry or 23andMe or something and found out that they're not. So Grandpa was right.
Rabbit, this is absolutely true. Spent a lot of your youth in Harlem. We didn't know color, we knew poverty. Yes. Yep. Same. Like I said, middle class in the 70s was poor.
Yeah.
Poor by today's standards. But we didn't know any better. I mean, shit. We were fucking kids. We were more concerned with like hanging out with people that were cool. We didn't look at who was black or who was white. It wasn't until I was in junior high that I really caught the brunt of it. Like, because I grew up around black kids, white kids, Hispanic, a lot of Laotian, Vietnamese, a lot of people from Laos. We didn't care if they were cool. We hung out with them. And then whenever we got from Krakow, Poland, I think that's now my grandparents were, one of them on my father's side was from Poland. My grandmother was from Germany, and this would have been like from like 1920s Germany kind of thing. So a little different period of time. My great grandfather was a short redhead, and great grandmother was Choctaw from the reservation. I had neighbors that were Mescalero Indians in New Mexico, and dude fucking hated the goddamn reservation. You know why he hated the reservation? He was like, I'm a fucking American, and I'll always be an American, and I'm happy to be an American, and living on the reservation is telling me that I needed to get handouts from somebody else, that I was incapable of making decisions as a human being for myself. So fuck you and your reservation. He left. That was his attitude. Like he could get all kinds of benefits living on the reservation. He wasn't about that. Like, you know, everyone talks about the fucking res and wanting to live there. He was all about fuck the res. Like I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
I've got more aspiration than taking fucking handouts. He goes, I can do much better than this bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, be proud of your heritage. There's nothing. He was very proud to be a Mescalero Indian. He goes, but I'll be damned if I'm going to take fucking handouts. Because it's just like government cheese. And trust me, I remember government cheese because I grew up on that shit. My mother was fucking surprised whenever she found out, because this is before they really tracked shit, that there were, because we were where we were at in Chicago, people would go to Michigan, they would go to Indiana and Missouri, and they would hit all of those states and collect government checks from every single one of them. Food stamps, all kinds of shit from every single one of those states. And they would show up in a brand new fucking Cadillac to collect their fucking check. Well, my mother is sitting out there in a beat up Volvo that's like, you know, on its last fucking leg, and start talking to them, and they're just like, yeah, I mean, that's what you do. That's how you survive. You go from place to place to place. They spent their time going from one town to the next. Yeah, grandmother hated the way she grew up and refused to be on the registry. Yeah. It's not uncommon. And that's more culture than it is, you know, particular, you know, Indian or race-based or bullshit. I mean, I've got my wife, her stepbrother, went to Tanzania, married a Tanzanian girl. And so they've got two light colored kids in Tanzania. Trust me, that doesn't go over too well.
Right.
You know, there's a reason why, but they're also viewed as something more, like, you know what I mean? Like a unique kind of thing. Like it's very attractive to them for them to see the lighter skin. And so he has to, like, you know, boy and a girl has to sort of keep an eye out, make sure that they don't try to eliminate AIDS by having sex with a virgin.
Oh, boy.
Because this is the way they think. Okay.
Oofta.
Now, for his wife, it was 3 cows, 4 goats, 2 chickens. And you think it's funny. It's like, well, that's a lot of fucking beef. No, they don't eat the beef.
Right.
They'll eat the goats and the chickens, but they don't eat the beef. The beef are like Cadillacs, and they walk them to the watering hole, and they walk them back. That's it. And it's all about how much cattle you're moving from place to place.
Oh boy.
And it's a show of wealth. Right. It's like driving through town with a brand new Cadillac. It's a sign of status.
I just can't imagine having to be paid for to with some cows to get married.
Oh, and you want to know the best part about it? So imagine this. You pay all this, and then your father shows up, because his father wasn't there for the because it's a process. You have to have a mediator that handles the negotiation between the father and the soon to be son-in-law. So he handles the negotiation because his father wasn't there to handle that negotiation. It would have been between the two fathers. So whenever dad shows up 6 months later, they panic because it nulls and voids all that they just did.
Oh.
So he has to go and renegotiate it.
Right.
And she's already pregnant at this time. She's already pregnant. So his concern was because this happened in their village before. Someone from the Peace Corps showed up because he was with the Peace Corps. Someone with the Peace Corps shows up, promises that they're going to marry the daughter, realizes that it's not a binding contract, knocks them up, and then whenever they get shipped back, they're just like, we don't know anything about this.
Mhm.
And there they are having to take care of a kid. And they also are not able to, get rid of their daughters now at this point.
Yeah.
They become not valuable, tarnished, destroyed, every single bit of them. So that's the type of country that people want to have here because they think it's so wonderful and great. That kind of system. No. I want food stamps and stamps. Oh, the Valkyrie leaves. So who do we got going on right now? I was curious about that. I was thinking who is streaming today. Let me close out of this and give it just a second. I'm pretty positive that there's somebody on here. Looks like,
LC's still going.
is LC actually still going? Well, I can't. He's got his cock on the table.
Yeah, Tom CPU is going. LC is going. That's all I see.
Yeah, you guys want to see? Brandon? Not Brandon. Damn it! You want to see LC's cock? I'm only going to flash it for a second. So if you guys want to see, if you want to see his cock, you got to pay attention. Pay really, really close attention because you're going to see it. There we go. LC's cock on the table.
He's probably passed out somewhere. I love it when that thing goes off in the middle of his streams.
Oh God. It's just like, yes. I love it. I love it. It's so awesome. Well, I think let's see, we got Turby is on right now. I'm pretty sure there's got to be more that are happening.
Yeah, the only two I saw were LC and Tom CPU.
Yeah, well, it looks like T3 is started 9 minutes ago. So we got T3. I can't sleep, so how about you? Oh my God. Expert stream last night?
Yes, he came on, I don't know, and then for like 3 hours he talked about how he had to go to bed.
He is so silly. He is so silly. See, I changed up my schedule so I could do this stuff in the morning. Yeah, T3 is streaming. I think what I'll do is if she has it set up, I'll restream to her or set it up.
Redirect.
Just redirect to her. See, pardon me. No. Oh, he finally turned on his music. I was like, what the hell is that? LC turned on his music. So he's still awake.
Oh.
Funny story. A black friend of mine complained about his handicapped adult son got bumped off a list for free dental to make room for Hispanics who needed an interpreter. Yeah. And I knew a girl, though, whenever I worked at Waffle, well, a mother, that her daughter would claim to be hearing voices and crap like that so she could receive government funding, and had multiple or split personality, all this kind of shit. But she didn't.
Yeah.
And mother thought it was fucking funny. I was like, hey, first Shizzy morning show. Hey, Haley. Yeah, you missed most of it. This is the early morning kind of thing. And I changed this up because I needed to start working out more in the morning. And I'm usually up pretty early. And what I would do would be just get up and, scroll through the news, see all the stuff that was going on. And whenever I saw stuff happening, I would be just like, okay, this is what's happening. And then just move on with my morning. I'd end up not working out or anything like that because I was like, oh, I haven't even had my first, second cup of coffee. I'm like, so working on my first. The children had me chained to the kitchen making pancakes. That sounds pretty hot. When you think about it. A woman in chains. Oh, your looks like your printer is done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just picturing Haley in chains making pancakes. A little bit of hot syrup,
Busy.
some butter. I mean, are you wearing an apron? Because if you're wearing an apron, that's even more of a turn on.
Just the apron.
just the apron. I see. She's not showing up for me. She must have her redirect turned off.
Maybe.
So, like I can't redirect to T3. That's so weird. Talking. Yeah, she's not even showing up. Like I see a bunch of stuff in there, but I can't get redirect. Let's see.
I think Rabbit posted the link, so.
Well, that does fine, except if I can't get
Right. Not for redirect, but if people want to go watch it.
And I just need to go in here and see if I can find it. Let's see.
You have to go see my new clip I put up of Baker this morning.
Oh, did you put a new clip up of Baker?
Yep. He forgot the number one rule of YouTube.
Customization. Add. Let's see if I can put it in there. Paste. Yeah, that's so weird. Like, okay, I got it in there so I can redirect to her now. So did you post the link in there? You should be able
mine?
To. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you should be able to post that in there. Hello, Flatty. Welcome back. See, I would redirect to Baker if he was starting, like that wouldn't be a problem for me. If he was starting about the same time, I would redirect to Baker.
Yes, she is, Maddie.
Nice. And we will pin that message so people can check it out. Edit, make sure that we've got this. And I want to make sure I've got your coffee in me. Oh, nice. And we'll put Farrell in here because
welcome back, Flatty.
Huh?
I was telling Flatty welcome back.
Yes, I said that also. Yes, Rabbit is the best mod ever. And you guys can sit there and try to fight me for it, but I guarantee you Rabbit's gonna beat your ass.
No fight for me.
Exactly. You don't want to mess with no Rabbit. Don't you be messing with no Rabbit. The first rule of YouTube. Nice, very nice. Yeah, so my plan is to try to keep these about 2 hours. Normally I would be starting it up. I'll be setting it up for 7, but that doesn't mean that's what time I'm going to start.
Right.
If I set it up for 7, just know that I will probably already be going by 7. But sometimes the dogs need a little bit of extra care in the morning. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. And, also the wife, I like making coffee for the wife in the morning and bringing it to her. That's what I do every morning. I make her coffee and I make myself some coffee, and then I take her coffee and she sits there and watches TikTok or some crap like that in bed or whatever she feels like watching.
I've trained my children to make mine, so
I know. I feel my wife, damn it. No, I actually do enjoy doing it. That started before we even got married, because I would always wake up before she did and I would make coffee, and then she would come out and have some coffee and be like, that's good coffee.
Right.
And that was whenever I still put sugar in my coffee, because I like my coffee black and sweet. Mm-hmm. And then what was it? A buddy of mine that lives in Canada. He was just like, yeah, I used to do coffee with cream and sugar. He goes, and I had to get rid of. Yeah, I do bring her coffee in bed. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Awesome.
But yeah, so he was just like, yeah, I used to do cream and sugar. He goes, and then I cut out the sugar. He goes, that was really hard. And then I cut out the cream because of the amount of like sweetness to it, or vice versa, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was strong and not so big, but so it don't hurt my tummy. What kind of dog do you have? I've got a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. I have 3 dogs. I have a Yorkshire Terrier, which those things are fucking batshit crazy, stupid. I understand why Staffordshire Terriers can be so fucking vicious, because of that. Then you've got, because terriers, they're just like the tenacity of those things are so fucking like they lock onto something. They're not letting go. I've watched him just like lose his shit like over another dog, because he's just so focused. Like he does not even know that you can be standing right there, like hitting him, and he's just like, I don't care. I'm killing this thing. It's like that dog's like 10 times your size. You're an idiot. And then of course we have a what's called a Chiweenie. So it's a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. And then we have we have like a Beagle, possibly wide hair terrier mix. That's pretty damn adorable. Like he's pretty damn adorable. I'll show you the one, because I think I have both of them here. Edit audio avatar. Okay, so this is the Chiweenie, and a lot of people think that that's a like Pomeranian or something like that. It's like, well, he could be, but his head shape is much more of the Chihuahua style. So he's also got a long body, like a dachshund body. So he's got those you're not even seeing the tips of his ears, and this is it gets crazy. Those ears are fucking massive on that little dog. Yeah, everybody says that. And then of course this is my dog as a puppy.
No.
So he's, like I said, part Beagle, and this is what he looks like now. He's all gray. So that's what he's now. And then of course there's my wife. I'm kidding. That is not my wife. That is not my wife. I'm joking. I'm joking. That's an actual AI rendition of something. I don't know. Somebody could be anybody.
It's Baker, isn't it?
Well, she's completely 100% fake. I mean, there's nothing real about her. That is just an AI generated image.
And I said it was Baker. Your AI version of Baker.
Oh, it is. No, I've got an AI version of Baker. Let me
Bet
show
you
you.
do.
Not this. So I'll show you my AI generated version of Baker, because there can only be one AI generated version of Baker, and that's this. No, I'm just kidding. There's my AI generated version of Baker. is not this. Is not this.
No.
It's this is my AI generated version of the expert right there.
Expert, yep.
Yeah, that's AI generated expert. And this of course is MG's AI generated version right there. That's what you
Man, I wish that story would have been true.
Oh God, that was such a wonderful story. I loved it. The Walmart story where they were found living in the ceiling of a Walmart.
Yeah. With a little cook going on.
Cooking methamphetamines. I was like, who believes this shit? That's, I love it. Thank you, Farrell, for stopping by. And what I'm going to do is I'll give you guys the same intro as I had for an outro, and it's fun. This is meant to be a good morning, a wake up, have a little bit of coffee, and make sure that whenever you go over there and you see T3, send her my love. She is absolutely adorable, and enjoy her so much. But this is for you guys. I appreciate you. Peace.